What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna take a look at the 2025 Volkswagen Golf R alongside the FL5 Honda Civic Type-R. Now I filmed this video last year, however, 2025 Volkswagen has done a couple changes. You can only get this in an automatic. And for the 2025 model year, Civic Type-R hasn't really changed. And especially now that we have this as a press car, I can drive this a bit better than at a dealership. So both of these cars on the new market currently, MSRP is gonna be around $48,000. Same price point, hot hatches with 4 doors. Which one are you gonna buy? Let's get right into the Golf R versus Type-R, see which one is a better car. Taking a look at the performance information, the 2025 Volkswagen Golf R is going to feature a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine with 328 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. It's paired only to a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic. It is also all-wheel drive. Curb weight is 3,450 pounds, and you're looking at 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. For the FL5 Honda Civic Type-R, this also has a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine with 315 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. This is only paired to the front-wheel drive. It is also only paired to a 6-speed manual transmission. 0 to 60 time is about 4.9 seconds, and curb weight is 3,188 pounds. And then for some stopping power, the Golf R gets a 13.4-inch front rotor. It is drilled and ventilated with a floating 2-piston front caliper, while the Civic Type-R gets a 14-inch rotor with a 4-piston Brembo brake caliper. For the exterior styling, they've both gone a very different way. The Golf R has more of a clean and sophisticated style. I especially love it in the blue. We have sharp lines from the hood leading down towards the LED headlights, a nice blue stripe throughout the headlight and front grille. Of course, got all your badging, gloss black throughout the lower grille with a massive opening. It's a really good looking car, very understated. It definitely is kind of under the radar. Civic Type-R is a bit more flashy with a track focus vibe. You got a heat extraction vent up above, a wide body style for all the fenders. You can also see all the gloss black trim, red badging up in front, nice wide opening, and then a huge opening down below for the radiator. Really clean lines on the hood, sharp body line throughout the side, and of course, you have a massive rear wing just to add to the cool style with a Type-R. It's a pretty cool looking car. It looks a lot different than a standard Civic. The Golf R doesn't really look all much different than a standard Volkswagen Golf, just a little bit nicer with some cool design. We have a quad-tipped exhaust, clean looking back with a roof-mounted spoiler. So overall, very different. We got the hatchback versus the liftback, but I think both cars look really cool for what they're supposed to be. For the interior on the FL5 Honda Civic Type-R, you're gonna see some nice red accents for the steering wheel. And then over on the dashboard, we have some soft touch plastic, this cool mesh design throughout all the air vents, and then just some dark plastic trim. Multimedia screen is this tablet style. We have a really cool R design with all the cool vitals you can monitor within the car. Physical home button, all your basic tiles, and then we have Apple CarPlay, of course. For the backup camera, you have a pretty HD view. You also have a couple different designs for it. There's physical climate controls down below, fan speed in the center, all of the different toggles, wireless phone charging, extra storage, a nice look at the aluminum shift knob for that 6-speed. And then for the drive modes and the gauge cluster screen, we have a standard screen where you can go through all sorts of different bits of information throughout the right side, and the left side you can also go through several different others. When we go to different drive modes, we have 3 different versions, individual as well, where you're gonna get the massive tack, and then you can also go into the R mode where everything gets cranked up a notch. But cool to see more vitals right there. When you're in the individual, you can customize a lot in this car. All of these settings are adjustable. So we have adjustable steering, suspension, tuning, all sorts of good things. But pretty nice overall. You do have, again, more soft touch plastic, ambient lighting, micro suede, and then one of my favorite features is these massive bucket seats. They're finished in the micro suede. They are super comfortable. They look really good, very supportive for performance driving. I have no complaints. They're all manual controlled as well. You can see more of the micro suede right there. Standard black headliner up above with all of your dome lights and just a simple mirror. Moving on to the 2025 Volkswagen Golf R. Cool to see the blue accents throughout this car. You're still gonna get more of this soft touch plastic and then just basic plastic trim throughout the dashboard. Air vents are all kind of connected with just some more plastic trim. This is a much larger screen, still with that tablet style. You're gonna get a lot of different things that are gonna pop up, big navigation system as well. And then you're gonna have a couple icons up above that you can view different things within the car. Full screen nav, of course. You can go into different tabs. You're still gonna get CarPlay and things like that. Got a little home screen down below. Climate is always integrated in the screen, so you have to tap that every single time to make those adjustments. We do get ventilated seats and heated seats, which is a cool touch for this bit more refined car. A few more settings up above, and then in reverse, you have a much sharper HD graphic for the camera, 360 parking sensors as well. So definitely a lot more technology throughout this car. You have a couple other settings down below. You can get more into the climate by tapping that icon. There's plugs, wireless phone charging, and storage down below. Just some piano black throughout the center with a little shifter for the dual clutch storage throughout the center. And then on the door panel, once again, just more of this plastic material, soft touch design. And then I like these leather style seats with the perforations throughout it and kind of a carbon fiber vinyl throughout the side with blue piping. They're very comfortable, nice bolsters as well, not quite as aggressive as the Civic. Then we have a nice sunroof up above with all of your dome lights. For the steering wheel, a flat bottom design with blue accents, massive paddle shifters for that dual clutch, and you still get a nice digital gauge cluster. You can configure it for a couple different designs, which is a cool touch, and you're still going to get to see all sorts of different vitals within the car. Safety information as well, everything you would expect in the center. We have drive modes too. We can toggle the R icon, and you have a lot of different things that are going to be customizable. We have the sport, comfort, race, of course custom. So pretty neat to see all sorts of drive modes in this car as well. Bit more refined interior overall, I would say, just a bit more luxurious. So moving on to the back seats with the Honda Civic Type-R. So this is actually a pretty roomy back seat. I'm 5'11", plenty of headroom. With the driver's seat at my height, I have good knee room and foot room. You don't really get any amenities, and you just get basic cloth fabric seats back here. You don't get the fancy micro suede. There's gonna be cup holders in the center, but that is about it. So it is a roomy back seat, just with no amenities. For the Volkswagen Golf R, this is actually a little bit smaller back here. I'm a bit more cramped. My knees are closer to the seat in front, and the backrest is more straight up. I still have plenty of good headroom, and you do have some nice amenities. There are air vents back here, along with heated seats. We have ambient lighting back here, just some hard plastic for the trim. You still have the nice leather type material for the seats with the carbon fiber vinyl. And then in the center, this can seat 3 people, but you're also gonna get a nice armrest and cup holder with a pass-through into the back. So you have more space in the Honda, but a lot nicer back seats in the Volkswagen. Moving on to the cargo volume for the Civic Type-R, this gets over 24 cubic feet of cargo volume with the rear seats in the up position. This is a massive trunk space. You can fit a lot of items, especially with the lift back. You have a nice small privacy cover. For the Volkswagen Golf R, this is a little bit smaller, coming in closer to 20 cubic feet of cargo volume. So definitely noticeably smaller without the lift gate, with just the hatchback itself, but still pretty decent overall. And then after folding down the back seats in the Golf R with the driver's seat at my height, I will have to slide it forward to completely get that one to fold flat. But this car now is going to have 34.5 cubic feet of cargo volume. So it certainly opens it up to be a lot more practical. For the Civic Type-R, once again, a lot bigger with 46.2 cubic feet. I don't have to mess with the front seats, and they're going to fold nice and flat. So very, very practical car with the Civic. So setting off now in the 2025 Volkswagen Golf R. I'm in comfort mode. I have my ventilated seat on. To be quite honest, this is a very nice car. This feels like a baby Audi, honestly. We're going over a decent road, and this car drives so smooth. The seats are very comfortable. It's fairly insulated from the outside around you. I mean, this really is like a little luxury car. It's a nice place to be. Visibility is great in it, as you'd expect from a hatchback. Really no complaints for the normal driving. It really does feel like a pretty sophisticated car. With the technology, I'm not a fan of having to tap the climate every single time to get into anything. You know, not my favorite thing. I'd rather have a physical control of some sorts. We have a volume slider, you have temperature sliders, but you know, the fan speeder wouldn't mind something there. They totally could have done that. If we play with different drive modes, let's go right into race mode, sport and everything, manual. This car carries some speed well, especially with a dual clutch and the all-wheel drive. You hear a little bit of like gurgles through the stock exhaust. There's not much drama to this car. That could be kind of a good thing or a bad thing. This would definitely be a fantastic daily that's also fun enough to zip around. But I wouldn't say there's anything that's too dramatic about driving it, given it's got perfect traction, the transmission's perfect, everything about it is so well engineered. You know, you don't really get any drama. Steering is heavy for that turn. With the all-wheel drive, you can rock it right out of a sharp turn pretty easily. Not bad so far, getting my bearings with it. It doesn't feel like the lightest car. It's got a good amount of weight heavier than in the Honda Civic. So I do feel maybe a little bit of weight up front, and the steering isn't that crazy direct. We're in the race mode. You know, let's go into the special mode. So I think last time I drove one said I needed to go in that mode to really wake up the car. Let's see now. Yeah, I feel like the car comes alive a little bit more. There's still a little bit of a delay on the steering wheel I'm not the biggest fan of. Tackles bumps well, even in the Nürburgring drive mode. It handles, this is gonna offend some people, it kind of handles like a crossover SUV. There is a delay in the front, for sure. So I think the steering is not my favorite. There's a delay to it. It's not really giving me any feedback. It feels very vague, I would say. It corners well, it handles very well. I mean, it's a confident, very, very confident driving car when you're going quick through the turns, but the steering input doesn't really relay much as far as a sense of occasion when you're ripping through the turns. So this seems like it's a very nice, refined, luxury-focused, you know, mid-price point sporty hot hatch that's also very, very fun to drive. But I'm not getting like that crazy, you know, excitement where you're just gonna be smiling the whole way. It's fast, it's super quick. I mean, you can certainly drive it like you stole it. It's definitely a fast car. I mean, it's quick, especially for a 4-cylinder. This thing moves. On to the FL5 Honda Civic Type-R now. So we are in just the comfort mode. Nice to see both cars having the different drive modes with adaptive suspension and all that good stuff. Overall ride quality in this, I honestly find it fine. I think it's still really comfortable. These seats I do think are a little bit more comfortable. They cradle my body better. They are bigger bucket seats, so I fit better in them. However, the overall ride quality is definitely not as plush. The Volkswagen Golf R rides like an Audi. It's very smooth, very luxurious feeling. This, you can feel the bumps. You can hear a little bit more wind noise and road noise, not by much, but you can definitely tell this is a little bit rougher around the edges for the day-to-day commute. I like the simple climate. Like, I can just crank up the fan speed so easily. I just think this is better. I don't like how modern cars are going to screens for every single control, just not my favorite thing. Interior build quality, a lot of people say that this feels cheap, the Golf feels like an Audi. They feel pretty similar. They both have the same soft touch plastics and some hard plastic, so I wouldn't exactly say one is light years better than the other. Now, with this car having a 6-speed only, that adds a lot of fun factor. Front-wheel drive, there are drawbacks with that. You don't want to go too crazy in the power if you're looking to modify either of these cars. You can only do so much with front-wheel drive. And inclement weather, you know, you're not going to get the greatest traction in front-wheel drive versus all-wheel drive, you know, snow, wet driving, things like that. So there are some drawbacks. Gorgeous sunny day today, so we have probably all the traction we're going to need. So with this car, we have all the same kind of drive modes. Into the R mode, the steering tightens up, the suspension stiffens up, and this car really starts getting a bit more razor sharp. Manual definitely makes it more fun, and the steering is a lot heavier feeling. Yeah, that steering is super direct. This is probably one of the absolute best steering cars that I've ever driven. I think Honda just nailed it with the weight of it and the response. There is nothing vague about how this car steers at all. So that is a huge difference when you're looking at the performance levels of a Golf R versus a Type-R. This steers so responsive. Power. You know, we're having interruptions in the gear changes due to a stick shift versus a dual clutch, and it has less power. So this does feel a little bit slower already, although the engagement level is really fun with a manual. Brakes both feel pretty similar. This car also feels a lot lighter. In the R mode, you hit bumps, and you know you hit some bumps. So this is definitely less forgiving once you're starting to drive it in a performance setting, in the performance modes. But the handling in this car is so much better, honestly. It's a lot better. It is way flatter in the turns. The steering is just significantly better. Rarely ever redlined this car, but she moves when you get up high. I mean, this car is no slouch. It's a fast little 4-cylinder, just like the Golf. A little bit of an interruption between gear changes, obviously, but this car has a lot more exciting things about the way it drives. As a sports car, if you're looking for the mountain drives, the track drives, the autocrosses, this is gonna bring a bigger smile to your face by far. It's just more exciting. We'll take the same quick turn. Yeah, this thing is just way more riled up. It feels more like a go-kart, a little track car. All right, so after driving in the FL5 Civic Type-R alongside the 2025 Golf R, ending thoughts, these cars are truly at the opposite ends of the hot hatch sub $50,000 spectrum. The Civic Type-R strong suits, it is exciting. It is so much fun to just rip on. If you're gonna take this to the track, the mountains, the back roads, the autocross, the Civic Type-R packs excitement and fun. I wouldn't say the same about the Golf R. Not to say it's a bad car or a boring car, it's just not particularly exciting. There's nothing really about the drive that makes you just thrilled to be in it. With that said though, it is a significantly nicer, well-rounded car. It rides really good. It drives like an Audi. It's got the tech, it's got a little bit nicer interior materials, plenty more features like the heated and vented seats, the steering wheel, the sunroof, the leather all around. So it has a lot of the refinements. It's a better, well-rounded daily driver. All-wheel drive as well, automatic, good for traffic, bumper to bumper, snow, rain, anything you throw its way, the Golf R is gonna do very well. So it's a very confident car to drive. The Civic has its shortcomings. You know, it's a little bit rougher around the edges, doesn't have the same features, the back seats are pretty sparse, but it does also have space on its side. It is a super roomy car. For me, my goal with the Type-R, I just wanted a fun car that was practical, and that is the Civic Type-R. It is ultra fun, ultra practical. The Golf R would probably be a better, well-rounded daily driver for those commuting to work and back, using it day in and day out with traffic and things like that. So I think the Golf R is basically a really nice, luxury, cool, fun car that's also a bit sporty. The Civic Type-R is a very sporty car that's also practical. So they're kind of doing very different things. These two cars would be fantastic complementary cars. I would buy the Type-R, my wife would buy the Golf R. Those would be a great duo in the garage. So that's where I think these cars shine. They would be a great duo. If you're cross-shopping these, do you want fun and excitement, or do you want refinement and just well-roundedness? So there you guys go. There is the 2025 Golf R versus the FL5 Civic Type-R. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for plenty more content. Comment below, what are your thoughts? Which one's the better car? What are you buying for less than 50 grand? I'll see you guys in the next video.